Ask the Attorney segment. Attorney Stewart Vance from the Vance Law Firm is here in the studio. He's ready to answer your questions. You can go ahead and give us a call with those questions. That number's on your screen, 334-420-9732. Just remember that WSFA. In the meantime, we actually do have some callers on the line. So let's get to Alice in Montgomery. Hi, Alice. What's your question?
Yes. In the apartment senior living complex, the manager has offered to let us sign a 2-year lease with no increase in rent. However, we have to pay a rent block of who knows how many dollars, because it's different for each person, now and a year from signing the 2-year lease to keep the rent from going up. This sounds like a rent increase. Can he do that?
It does sound like that to me as well, Alice, but the answer is I don't know without reading the lease agreement that's currently in place. It probably sets out what is allowable, what's not allowable, and in most renting situations, leasing situations, even purchase agreements for whatever it might be, a home, apartment, whatever, the document is going to, is sort of, we call it the four corners test. Whatever is within the four corners of that document, whether it's one page or multiple pages, that's going to lay out kind of what they can and can't do. So I would go there first and make sure you read that, or have someone read it and make sure you're understanding exactly what their options are. And it may turn out that is a good thing. It may be that locking it in is a good thing, good idea, and maybe you should do that. But first place I would check would be the original agreement that you signed when you got there. Okay, hopefully that gives you some direction.
Good question.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
All right, Lola in Greenville, you're on the line. Hi, Lola, what's your question?
Yes. I slipped down a few years ago in Cracker Barrel and twisted my spine. Water will waste on the floor. And my daughter got me a lawyer off the TV, well-known lawyer, but he didn't get me but $1,900. And I was wondering, was it because he didn't like the doctor's wife, because he'd always tell me about how nasty the doctor wife to him, and I'm still walking with a cane, my back. I was twisting my spine. And that was all he got me. And now he said he wasn't going to take it to court, and I thought I would be entitled to more than that, because it wasn't my fault that I fell and slipped down in water.
Well, first of all, I'm sorry that you got hurt. That issue comes up a lot when folks call us. A lot of times people have talked to neighbors, friends, relatives, in the city, different states, about their situation. And everybody's situation is different. Let's start there. And I really can't tell you, that may be way too little. It may be not, may be the right amount. I don't know the facts. A lot of things go into it. And I tell clients all the time that you could have the same set of facts, the same injury, and the case could have happened in 3 or 4 different counties, and you could get 3 or 4 different results if you went to court. So just because you have the same injury that someone else had, or the same set of facts, where it is makes a difference. When it was makes a difference. All the details that are become important as you go toward getting to court. And sometimes, based on those things, a settlement may be the best option for a client, but at least in our office, it's always up to the client. If the client doesn't want to settle their case and they want to go to court, we give them the pros and the cons, and they get to make that decision because it's their case. And at the end of the day, you were injured, it's your claim. People need to kind of remember that. Now, I also try to get folks to go, hey, I know what I know. I don't know what a doctor knows. That's not my job. So hopefully they're going to trust their doctor, and they're going to trust the lawyer that they chose. And so when we give the client our advice, hopefully they will take that. And we're not just making stuff up. I've been doing this 30 years. So hopefully that gives some credibility to us. I'm sorry you went through that. I'm sorry you're still having the issues with your back. I hope it never happens again. But if something were to happen to you or your family, please reach out to us. We'll try to give you our best advice.
As a personal injury attorney, this is the kind of case you deal with on
Absolutely
a regular
is,
basis.
yeah.
So real quick, just what's your best advice if you find yourself in a situation similar to Lola's?
You need to call sooner or later. So her daughter getting a lawyer, I commend that. That's a great thing to do. And Lord knows there are lots of us out there. But I would say, go to someone who's specializes in that area, like we talk about. I don't do contract work every day. I do personal injury work every day and have been for 30 years. So hopefully if somebody falls in that situation again, literally falls or is injured some way, please give us a call. We'll give you our best advice. There's no charge unless you decide to hire us, and that's up to the client as well. So just because you call me doesn't mean I'm working for you unless that's what you want us to do.
That's also good advice.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, always sharing your insight and your wisdom.